Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 2, Book 2, Rudra Samhita, Part 5, Chapter 48, Swallowing Shukra in the Shiva Puran. Vakrutana Makaya, Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirviganam Karima Samakaya. Hariom Tatsat. Vyasa said, O great sage, when Bhargava was swallowed by Rudra, what did the heroic Danavas headed by Andhaka do? Please narrate. Sanat Kumara said, when Bhargava was swallowed by the Lord of Parvati, the Dechas gave up hopes of victory. Like lordly elephants bereft of trunks, or cows and bulls devoid of horns. They were as futile as headless trunks, as Brahmins who have forsaken the study of the Vedas, as the living beings who have given up efforts, and as the efforts of those who are not favored by good fortune. They were lustreless and ineffectual, like women devoid of husbands, like the arrows devoid of feather, like longevity devoid of meritorious actions, and like learning in the Vedas without the observance of sacred rites. They were as powerless as innumerable activities, rendered fruitless without the support of wealth, or as Kshatriyas devoid of heroism, or as the assemblage of virtue without truth. When Bhargava was taken away by Nandini and swallowed by Shiva, as he had swallowed poison, the Dechas became grief-stricken, and their pride and jubilation for battle became curbed. On seeing Hunda and other Dechas devoid of enthusiasm, the courageous and valorous Andhaka replied. Andhaka said, by seizing Bhargava forcibly from our midst, we have been duped by Nandini. Our bodies have been rendered lifeless. With the taking away of Bhargava from us, our courage, valor, achievement, fame, strength, splendor, and exploit have been simultaneously taken away. Fear upon us, by whom the sole and excellent preceptor of the family, worthy of the respect of the whole race, the virtual protector of all of us, and very efficient, has not been saved at the time of adversity. Hence, do not waste time. Fight with the enemy, the heroic Paramatas, after remembering the lotus-like feet of the preceptor. After remembering the beneficent lotus-like feet of the preceptor, I shall slay all the Paramatas along with Nandini. After killing these, along with the gods, including Indra, I shall obtain the release of Bhargava, like the yogin who releases the soul from the bondage of action. Bhargava too is a lordly yogin. If he himself comes out of Shiva's body, the rest of us are saved. Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the words of Andhaka, the powerful Danavas, fearlessly roaring like the rumbling clouds, spoke after resolving to do what was then to be thought of. The Danavas said, if we are destined to live, the Paramatas cannot overwhelm us. If it is otherwise, what avails running from the battleground, leaving our master behind? Those who leave their masters and run away, professing to be honored and desiring to be rich, will surely fall into hell. Andhatha Misra, after sullying their fame with the darkness of ignominy, they will forfeit their pleasure both here and hereafter. They will be slain in the battle. Of what avail are charitable gifts, authorities, and dips in holy waters if one takes bath in the holy tract of the battlefield that removes the dirt of rebirth? Sanat Kumara said, after saying these words and deciding in accordance with them, those Dechas and Danavas, pounded the Pramatars in the battle. They sounded the war drums. By means of arrows, swords, thunderbolts, hard rocks, busundis, bhindi palas, and other missiles, spears, javelins, axes, skull-headed clubs, tridents, maces, staffs, and other weapons, they bit one another and wrought a great havoc. There was a great noise everywhere, produced by the drawn bows, flying arrows, the missiles, busundis, bhindipalas, and leonine roars. There was great tumult, caused by the war drums, trumpets, the trumpeting sounds of elephants, and the neighing sounds of the horses. The vast space between heaven and earth was filled with loud reports, causing horripilations to the courageous as well as the cowardly. The thirsty armies on either side fainted with their ears bursting by the loud sounds of elephants and horses, with the flagstaff and banners broken and torn, with their weapons exhausted, vomiting divers kinds of blood, and bereft of horses, elephants, and chariots. Osage, the heroic Nandini, and other Pramatars slew all Asuras and won the victory. On seeing his army being shattered here and there, Andaka rushed at the gunners, driving in his chariot. Like the mountains hit with the thunderbolt by Indra, the Pramatars perished. Like the clouds devoid of water, they sank low. Glancing at the incoming or outgoing Pramatars, far off or at close quarters, Andaka hit them severely with as many arrows as they hair on their bodies. On seeing the army shattered and smashed by the powerful Andaka, Skanda, Vinayaka, Nandini, Somanandan, and other heroic and powerful Pramatars, and Shiva's personal gunners became furious and fought in diverse ways and very valorously. By Vinayaka, Skanda, Nandini, Somanandan, Viraka, Negamiya, the powerful Vesaka, and other terrible gunners, Andaka was rendered blind as they showered tridents, spears, and arrows incessantly. Then a great tumult arose in the midst of the armies of Pramatars and Asuras. At that great noise, Bhargava, who was within the belly of Shiva, began to wander, seeking an outlet like the unaboded wind. In Shiva's body, he observed 7 worlds, including Patala. He saw the diverse worlds of Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Aditya, and celestial damsels, as well as the battle between the Pramatars and Asuras. Wandering round and round in the belly of Shiva for 100 years, he failed to see any outlet, as a wicked person fails to see a vulnerable point in a good person. Taking recourse to the yoga of Shiva, he repeated the following mantra and assumed the form of Shiva's semen. He thus emerged out of the belly of Shiva through his penis. Thereafter, he bowed to Shiva and was accepted as a son of Parvati. He was made a lord of the gunners. On seeing Bhargava come out of the path of the semen, Lord Shiva, the storehouse of mercy, laughed and said, Lord Shiva said, O son of Bhrigu, since you came out of my penis in the form of the semen, you will be called Shukra. Henceforth, I accept you as my son. You may go if you please. Sanat Kumara said, thus advised by the Lord, Shukra, who had the refulgence of the sun, bowed to Shiva again and eulogized him with palms joined in reverence. Shukra said, you are of infinite feet, of infinite forms, and of infinite heads, the destroyer of the auspicious. The destroyer and the auspicious. You are of infinite arms. How can I eulogize you of such form adequately? You are worthy of eulogy and of the bowing of our heads. You are the eight-formed, the infinite form, the bestower of all desires of the gods and asuras. You are the wicked and the undesirable. How can I adequately eulogize you of such a nature? Sanat Kumara said after eulogizing Shiva, thus and bowing to him again, Shukra took leave of Shiva and entered the army of the Danavas as the moon does the cluster of clouds. Thus I have narrated to you how Bhargava was swallowed by Shiva. Now listen to the mantra which was repeated by Bhargava from within the belly of Shiva. Footnotes. Okay, it's in Hindi. Let me see if I can get this. 309. The 7 regions below the earth are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Tala, Talatala, and Patala. I think that's it for footnotes. Here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Vakratuna Makaya, Surya Kuti Samaprani, Vignam Kusavakaya Sushara. Om Prabhu Prananatam, Vyum Veshwanatam, Jagannatanatam, Sarananta Bhajan, Buddhiptam Veshwaram Bhutanatam, Shivam Shankaram, Shamvishanavidi. Om Kapura Kauram Karunavatartam, Sansara Saram, Bhujakendra Hadam, Sadavasantam Ridyar Vinne Bhavam Bhavami, Saitam Namami, Om Nama Parvati Pate, Hara 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 Mahadev Ki Om Humjum Samurva Samdram Makami Jame, Sukan Vishtivaranam, Urvarakami Vabandanam, Minichuksham Tatam, Swaha Bhum, Sachuam. Jayanti Mangala Kali, Padra Kali Kapali, Durga Kashma, Shiptati Swaswas. Om, to a Mata Chipitatma, to a Mandusha Chasakatma, to a Vidya, Dravinang to a Sarvam Mamati, Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat.